So how long have you guys known each other, and how did you all meet?
It started because I knew Cody, obviously, for years from touring with Wax. He would tour with us, and he would always tell me about Nick, that Nick was a great guitar player, and that I should start a band with him. I should see you gotta see this guy Nick, you gotta call Nick. And so finally I mustered up enough energy to try to start another band, and we got a hold of Nick, and me and Nick started playing together, and then next after that,
Monkey, Fritz.
Well, Fritz, yeah.
Fritz
we had a different drummer for a little while, and then we got Chris.
I used to go into to Disc Replay all the time and talk to Nick about crazy music. And then I heard from somebody that I work with that Nick was starting a band and they needed a drummer. So I went into Disc Replay and asked him if that was true.
In a bright red sweater vest and a tie.
Yeah. Wearing a red Argyle sweater straight from school.
And you basically told me that you were going to start practicing with them.
And then Cody and I had liked Lemke's old band very much, and I would always hear Cody listening to it, and I liked it a lot. And when we heard that he was kind of on the outs with that band, we scooped him up very quickly. So yeah, and then we needed a separate drummer because the first drummer that joined before Chris was had some obligations back home. He had to move back, so he knew Clinton from way back in the days, and
I'm working like mad.
And that's it. And we've been married ever since.
Happily, kind of.
How long have you guys been this group right here?
July.
July, yeah.
July, August, October, November, December.
You forgot
September, dude.
You gotta do the
September wasn't a good month.
in between the nothing.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. 6 months then. Yeah.
So why Sons? What's the origin of the name Sons behind that?
It's really long, but to make a long story short, it comes from a short story that I wrote called The Sons of White Oblivion, and it's a very long, complicated thing that's on our MySpace page, and you can read it there. But it's a really very philosophical idea about kind of just life in general, and it's also just a cool name. So.
Fits easy on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So what genre of music do you consider your music to be, and what are your major musical influences and or inspiration?
I usually just say it's kind of along lines it's got a little bit of folk in there, but with a lot of rock and heavy overtones, kind of.
The things that we draw from in our songs are things all the way from Neurosis to Sigur Rós, and it sounds like all that wouldn't work together, but I think we pull it off pretty well just because we're also eclectic. Everybody in this band listens to very, very heavy music, very we'll listen to Until the End and American Nightmare and Brian Eno in one night, when we're hanging out together. So.
Do you feel some pressure based on the success of the popularity of your former bands?
I don't know. I don't feel a lot of pressure. I feel like there was more pressure in my old bands because we were under contracts and we had people working for us and stuff like that, and that's pressure from fans, and especially fans in Chicago. I know that. And this isn't out of being full of myself. I just know that I have fans that will come and see me play just because I know them. I know them personally. I've been,
friends.
Yeah. There's a couple named Dave and Christine from Toledo that have been coming and seeing me play for years and years, and they're just good people. So I don't feel pressure from them. I would feel pressure if I was still under management from something, or.
Do you feel as if you were going to approach this time around maybe a little bit different?
Yeah,
I think we already have.
Yeah.
It's
we've just talked about, the biggest thing that we've all talked about is trying to, at least, I don't know if we can really facilitate it, but trying to do everything ourselves on our own, just record. we've been recording demos on our own, and we've tried to do our shirt designs ourselves, and we've just been trying to do everything by ourselves so that we don't have any ties to other people who can pressure us to do things that we don't want to do. That's the biggest thing that I'm trying to do differently.
Not only that, but get along with your band members.
Yeah.
We want to start we want to have like a base where we can just have this outlet constantly, where as we get older we can keep having something to like, just an outlet to express, you know.
Yeah, and not have to, you know. I've been in positions in previous bands where when you get there, there's so much like, you know, pressure and obligation for you to perform, and you know, if somebody doesn't like your parts, they'll get in your face about it, or they don't like, you know, what you're doing, or even what you like, you know, like how you're acting or whatever. And that's the biggest thing that we all kind of like talked about, like just making sure that this is like a pressure-free like situation where everybody's just friendly with each other, and whatever happens from it happens, but making sure that the base of it is just playing together and seeing what happens, you know. No getting angry about not getting shows or not getting tours or not getting whatever fast enough, just kind of like flying by the seat of our pants.
Cool. Alright, what does your future look like?
We got our first show.
You'd be staring at the dashboard of the van.
Yeah, that's all we care about is we got to show
Probably more facial hair.
Yeah, right, more beards.
Longer.
I just shaved, man. I feel bad about it.
I'm stepping out of that circle.
No.
It's not pretty.
I've seen it.
The Abe Lincoln beard. It's no good. It's
We'll
beautiful.
probably just tour as long as we can until either something happens or we get too old. Those are the only two limits that we have. We just want to play and write records and record them. That's it.
We're 2012. The end of the
Or
month.
2012.
Yeah.
That's some serious shit.
2012.
People
Until
will understand,
2012 would be
though.
the third.
I don't know why we're joking about this.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna fucking get in a shelter for that.
If the world's gonna end, the shelter's gonna end too, dude. It's a prophecy. You can't run away from a prophecy, dude.
Dude, I dig a deep hole.
I just go further.
I don't know, man. I'll say you know.
You can't get me prophecy. I'm gone.
Get me down here.
Whatever. I'll think about it. I got a couple years.
Alright, where can people gain access to your music?
So they can come and check out my computer right now. That's the only place it's at.
Yeah.
But it will be changing shortly in the next couple days. So it'll be MySpace. We'll put it up on there.
Yeah, it's myspace.com/something.